Welcome to 31 Days of Horror with me, Aaron, as your guide to 31 horror films in 31 days throughout October. Today is day 16, pretty much halfway or a little bit over halfway, depending how you look at it, will be The Substance. The Substance stars Demi Moore. It's a 2024 film. Yeah, let's get going. Also, I thought this was appropriate attire for the movie we're discussing today, The Substance. Workout 80s vibe. So The Substance just recently came out, and so it's not on streaming yet, but it will be very soon. I have a feeling maybe before Halloween. But if you want, you can go and watch The Substance in the theaters. I highly recommend that. How to watch The Substance. It's time to have some fun. I think let's get dressed up. Let's have a good time. Wear your flashiest, fanciest clothing, maybe. Let's get those bodies ready for body gore. In all seriousness, though, if you're not into body gore or into gore, this movie goes there. You may not think it because it has Demi Moore as well as it's got some Oscar buzz around it, but it goes into body gore. So maybe you need something to cover your eyes. But also, in all seriousness, why not get dressed up? Have some fun with it. Erroneous thoughts. So this is a time where I just express maybe an opinion or a thought I have over horror. But this one is specific to this film, and it's maybe not necessarily a thought, but an erroneous question. I don't mean to separate us into demographics. I hate that people do that in general. Like, we're all humans and all that. But I'm very curious. I feel like this movie was made for the girls, the gays, the theys. I don't want to leave anyone out, but anytime I see someone say how much they love this movie, they typically fall into one of those categories. So my erroneous question is, are there any straight men who love this film? Right? So not just like it, but like love this film. I'm just curious, and I don't want to separate us, but I'm just curious. Let me know in the comments, pretty please. 1 minute summary. I have 1 minute to tell you what this film is about, and I only have a minute. So I don't plan this, I don't write down, just off of my own head, and maybe it'll sell you to go see it. Okay, so we're doing this. We're going in 3, in 2, in 1. Okay, so this is a movie, again, The Substance, that stars Demi Moore, and she plays a character named Elizabeth Sparkle. And never tells you what time set or any of that. So all that you need to know, and I don't want to reveal too much, this is spoiler free, but she is getting older. She's a lady in her 50s, and obviously she's a workout girl. So she's like, Ben, that's how she made her living, possibly a movie star in some way, but really a workout girl, kind of like Jane Fonda-esque throughout it. And they're pushing her out. You're too old now to be doing this. So she receives this invitation to take The Substance, which is this black market kind of drug that will create a younger you, that you'll have a younger version of yourself again. But it's not like she gets younger, it's that she has another version of herself out there. So there are two, but they cannot coexist at the same time. So then she has some rules and guidelines to follow, and then there is a younger version of her, and they don't see eye to eye, and it gets into some intense places. 1 minute and 1 second did it. I think they did a really good job with The Substance. I didn't want to spoil it for you. I like spoiler free, so you can go and enjoy. Now it's time for my 1 minute review. So rather than giving you a long-winded review, I like to make sure that it's succinct for you. You know exactly how I feel about this, and I only have a minute to tell you. So I might leave things out that I think, which is unfortunate for me, but for you, it'll probably get to the core of how I feel about this film. We're going in 3, in 2, in 1. Oh my gosh, I freaking love this movie. I did not know which direction it was gonna go at all. Because Demi's getting some Oscar buzz about it, and she got a 12-minute standing ovation. So you think it's this certain kind of film, but it turns to be a whole other different kind of film, and it is body gore. I really want to express that you don't think it's gonna do it because of all the accolades it's been receiving in that way, as well as it's camp for me. I mean, it's satire, obviously. It's about, body gore, but it's also satire about how we treat women and their bodies and as we get older and things of that nature, and beauty and the beauty standards of it all. So it's satire and all that, but it's camp. It goes camp. It goes all the way there. But also feels scary in some ways, like horror. It's horrific, all the things. So there's two entities of her, Elizabeth and Sue. And how that all goes down gets wild. Yeah. Time for Aaron's experience. So this is my experience watching the film. I love to hear people's experience. Whenever they say they don't like something or they do that, I'm like, how'd you watch it? So I like to share how I watched it. And this one, I really do want to share with you because I went to the theater because I was like, I know I need to see this one in the theater. I just felt it. I wanted also, you don't hear much about it, so I kind of wanted to know all the secrets. And so I went to the theater, and the demographic there was not the demographic I thought would be there. There was a lot of older individuals, which I just didn't think they would be into a body gore kind of movie, but who am I to judge? But my thought was, oh, maybe because of the Demi Moore of it all and the Oscar buzz around her, they want to see. And it was at like an art house kind of theater as well. And then as I was sitting there, eventually strolled in like a younger couple as well. And I was like, okay, this felt like more of the demographic that possibly, and again, demographic, who's to say who wants to watch a film? But then during it, the digital projector was just going down and slowing the movie down, pausing the movie. Eventually, the couple next to me went up and told somebody. So they stopped the film. They gave us a free ticket for the next film, and they said they were going to get the projector back up in 10 minutes. Just wait if you can. So I did wait, and then the film was fine. It was halfway through. But then when it got to the ending, and if you know and you've seen this movie, the ending is very important. It started pausing and it started like sputtering a bit, getting through it, but not never stopping, but just like having moments. And so when this wild stuff was happening, there were just moments of just pure pausing, like as if you have finally have time to get it, take in what you're watching. And so I just started laughing, which made the couple next to me laugh. And I don't think anyone else in the theater was laughing. They probably thought we were rude, but then I realized no, because of all the stoppage, this is what the creator is wanting from you. You want it to laugh. You want to laugh. You're laughing with it, but you're laughing at it. It was beautifully ridiculous. That was my experience watching this film. I did get through it and got to the ending. I was worried we weren't going to get to it, and it had a long ending. So you're just like, oh my gosh, you're hoping that it's over, not because you want it to be over, but because of the stopping. But then it kept going, and so you're like, oh, I love where it's going. I just wish the projector would work, and you didn't want to have them stop it. The movie's a wild ride, but that was a wild ride in watching it. Stick the ending. So this is where I answer the question, did it stick the ending? Horror, a lot can happen with a film, but with the ending, you can also just dislike a film you love for loving, and you can also love a film that you really weren't into. I give it a 1 if that was not an ending for me, and a 5 if that was an ending for me, if it stuck its ending. I hope you know by watching it. It's a 5. This is a 5 ending for me. This really stuck it. I didn't know where it was going. I was kind of then like, oh, why do people love this? I mean, I like it, but why is people in love with this? Then I saw this ending, and this ending made my little gay heart light upright. It was just so special. It is camp. And then you're like, wait, I want to watch it again because was the whole thing camp and I was just taking it too seriously? Like, am I camp? Is the joke on me, like, for taking this movie so seriously because of the whole Demi Moore aspect of it? And it's definitely like camp on the whole beauty industry in general. And this ending is gore, it is horror, it is monster madness. So good. Aaron's category time. I'm going to put this film in fun categories just to kind of open it up a bit more, see if it's a film for you. Sometimes it's like, okay, what does body gore mean, right? Or what does horror mean? Or what does, okay, Oscar buzz film mean? This is camp. So don't go into it taking it too seriously, but take it serious. Camp, it's not like over your head camp. It is satire kind of camp, which is great. This is a monster movie, and then maybe that's a bit revealing, but what is a monster? Who is a monster in this? There's a monster. Oh, it's ridiculous. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in so many ways, and it makes you really question you. Are you ridiculous? And for the way you view the film, oh, beautiful. I'm giving it to her. She's beautiful. Gore. Gore, 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 gore. It does it. It does it. And I'm going to up that just so maybe you're like, okay, if it's really gory, I want to see what he's talking about. And you're like, that wasn't that gory. So let's go. It's camp, monster, ridiculous, beautiful, gore. Stab again. Am I going to stab this movie again? And you know what the answer is? Yes. That's all I'm really going to say about it. Yes, yes, yes. I want to rewatch it with the new eyes, new gaze, and hopefully my projector will work this time and just to be able to enjoy the ride. And just one last thing. I really want to give it up for Demi Moore. I want to give it up for all the actors, but to see Demi doing what she's doing is great, and that she's given a role like this and that there is a role being written for someone of her age, for someone of what she's been through. Like, it feels perfect. The writer, director, co-producer, Coralie Farge, so well done. Oh my goodness, I have to go back and watch her other film now. I feel like I've missed out on such a great auteur, such a great filmmaker. This was so well done, and I love it again. Women telling women's stories and doing such a beautiful job. So good. Oh, I expected nothing less anyways, but it's so great to see. So let me know in the comments what you thought of The Substance. I'm sure this is a divisive film. I'm sure not everyone loved it as much as I loved it. It's not for everyone, which wouldn't we rather that? Sometimes when it goes middle ground and it's kind of like for everyone, it's like, it's less enjoyable, right? It's like, oh, you didn't love it. Let's talk about why you didn't love it. So let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. Happy Halloween.